Minisode.
Minisode.
Welcome again, everybody, to episode 3 of iHorror's Talking Titans, our minisode series where we recap and talk about the drama that happened on the Boulet brothers' Dragula Titans, now season 2.
Is there drama on that show?
Hold on, let me introduce you first.
I don't know. I might have missed it, so I don't know. You'll have to explain it to me.
I'm your host, Jonathan Correia, and I'm joined, as always, with my roommate, Lindsey Gant. Lindsey, how are you?
And they were roommates. Doing fab. Excited to talk about our favorite show once again with my favorite roommate.
Yes. And we are, of course, also joined with our very good friend, Waylon Jordan. Waylon, how are you this week?
I'm great. I'm great. Taking a little time off work for spooky week and just kind of relaxing.
Nice. So we're recording this on 10/28. Episode 4 just premiered last night. So let's do the speed run recap. Episode 3 of Titans season 2 saw the Gothic Wedding, which was a great competition where the competitors both had to be bride and groom for their goth themed wedding. There was a fright feat of eating a sliced, wretched piece of wedding cake with no hands, which Jaharia won and used to cast a curse of rain on your wedding day on Sigourney Beaver. The winner of the challenge was JK. The bottom two were Disasterina and J. Jolie, with Zav getting saved at the last second. Eliminated was J. Jolie. Our two guest hosts for the week was Chelsea Rebecca and James Yanis, i.e. the two most hetero white people I've ever seen on TV. We were also introduced to the new aspect of this season, which is the Hellbound Showdown, which pitted previously eliminated competitors Loris versus Frankie Doom, and Loris won. We now go to episode 4, The Return of the Nosferatu Beach Party, the greatest name of a competition ever. On episode 4, the fright feat was to eat a bulb of garlic and wash it down with a glass of pig's blood, a season 4 favorite. The winner was JK, who absolutely killed it on consuming all of that nasty. They had the power to save themselves or someone else from elimination, and also assigning the teams, which I thought they did very fairly. They ultimately saved themselves, and the winner of the Return of the Nosferatu Beach Party look was Blackberry. Thank God. The bottom 4 was Abora, Dahlia Black, Jaharia, and La Zavaleta. They had their extermination challenge was to eat a vampiric picnic of blood, raw blood, and innards. We'll get into how that went in just a little bit. But also, we don't know who was exterminated because there was a couple of distractions with that elimination challenge. So we'll find out next week. The Hellbound Showbound winner between J. Jolie and, of course, Loris was J. Jolie, thankfully. So that's the quick recap. That's the beats. That's the big things. Let's get into the drama. I know a shit ton happened in episode 4, but I need to talk about episode 3 first.
I gotta say, the way that you just described that was very sports oriented. And I don't watch a lot of sports, but this is my favorite sports show for sure.
Dodgers who? We need to discuss episode 3. So with the Gothic wedding looks, I feel like a lot of them didn't know what goth is, which I gotta say, that bottom 3 was the most stressed out I have ever been watching a reality TV show ever. Because you had two of my favorites, La Zavaleta and Disasterina, and J. Jolie, who I really, really like. But I was screaming at the TV, why is the fate of my favorites in the hands of these two guest judges? Because boy, howdy, were they white hetero. And I can say that.
They were. It all came across very white bread. I was like, this was what y'all pulled from like possible podcasters. Hello, we're out here. You can just call me up and I will gladly fly out and take part in this.
But I get it. Those two are big in the horror podcast community, so I understand. And I don't listen to podcasts, but I understand they have a big following. I see them at a lot of things. They're really nice folks, but they were very Wonder Bread.
I think you were making a point as far as not understanding what the Boulets meant by goth. I think that they were really kind of missing that, a lot of them. And the ones who did nail it really nailed it, but the ones who missed it, they missed it by a mile. Like there was a
Yeah.
lot going on there. I mean, I love Disasterina's look and everything, and it was a lot of fun, but nothing about it really gave goth to me. That kind of thing.
The bride look I thought did, but it also gave more death metal. It was really the groom where it was like you needed more. They showed a lot of skin, which I really appreciate. Always appreciate showing more skin, but I think the groom is what really killed it because like having that Dom aspect is really good, but like some more leather pieces probably would have helped out, something like that. But the performance was still great. I loved it when she started fucking the box with her giant spike of a strap on.
My favorite was when Disasterina was in the box at the very beginning and she kind of just like gremlin crawled really quickly, like they sped it up or just me, just like walked really fast in that box. I had
Loved
to play
it.
that a few times. It was just a great intro to the bride.
But there was a few folks like I'm thinking Dahlia Black. I loved that look. I know we are all annoyed with Dahlia Black. She's annoying. But you got to admit it was a great look, but the challenge was goth wedding and she went, "Oh, so you want Dracula. You want Vampire Masquerade." And it looked good, but it didn't, it was again, it was a lot of good effort. The crown especially was just like, how is that goth? Come on. It was very like, I'm sorry, is this Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula? That's what you interpreted the challenge was? Because if that was, she would have won, but that's not what the challenge was.
I think the one that stands out to me as maybe being the most goth, maybe y'all will disagree with me, was Abora's look. And maybe it was because the critique might be it was a bit on the hot topic end of goth, but you know what? I'm from that generation of goth in which it was all hot topic, very that kind of Tim Burton-y look, and I really liked the aesthetic. I love the bride. I love the skirt, and I love the groom's look. I think it all pieced together quite nicely. I think it did really well for being both the male and female version.
Yeah, the Jack Skellington of it all with the groom really worked for me. And again, so surprised by Abora through this entire season. I'm not going to stop talking about how much she has shocked me by growing up since the last
Yeah.
time that we saw her on the show. But she really, I mean, she's keeping her head down and she's really working hard to hit these looks and hit these themes this time.
Yeah. And listen, I don't think it being more hot topicy goth is a demoter. I definitely brought that up. I was like, this is very Tim Burton-y, it's very mall goth, but like that's still goth. There's different shades of it, It's kind of like how JK's leaned more into like emo goth, and but it worked. It was cohesive. It was really I loved her bride. And I thought the groom was a big swing, and it worked. Just with the absolute femme face, the extreme reds of it, but as a story between the two, it worked really well. So I was very impressed with JK, and I think she absolutely deserved that win. We definitely saw in the Cauldron everyone quote dogpile on Dahlia, but is it dogpiling if she pissed off everybody?
Look, you can't walk around and insult everyone in the room repeatedly and like run back behind the scenes and do all the things that you're doing and not expect everybody to come back at you if you keep doing it. And that she's playing a game where she's not prepared. She is not prepared for the game that she's trying to play right now.
Yeah. And I don't even know if it's subconscious or if she's doing it purposely or like, you know what I mean? She's very good at playing the victim. And I thought it was the most annoying, but also most brilliant thing, her going, I'm not even gonna watch who goes down. And she's just like glaring forward while everyone's heads is turned. And like you see Jade, who looked fantastic going up the steps, of course, as everyone noted. She looked great. Fall down and it just cuts to Dahlia. Dahlia's just still staring, face
Staring into the
unchanged.
Well, and the term pathological liar gets thrown around a lot, and I'm not saying that I'm diagnosing her, but Jesus Christ. I mean, everything that opens up your mouth, every time you open up your mouth, a lie falls out. I have to start wondering,
Yeah.
how much of it you're in control of. And if you're completely out of control the way that it's coming across, then maybe you don't need to be in a competition like this.
Yeah. Not to skip over episode 3, because episode 3 was a great episode. Loved a lot of it, but so much happened in episode 4. We got to jump right into it because it went off immediately. Like they didn't
Well, you
even
have to start with episode 3 where they made the comment about, the little comment was made between JK and
Zavaleta.
Zava
Yeah.
about I hope he doesn't cheat on you, blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
then the next thing you know, they try to open up a new episode and the world ended. Like
Girl.
Zaba's hugging trees outside and yelling for someone to call her mom. And I'm just like, holy shit, what happened? And how much time is in between these episodes that y'all have time to like get all of this in your head?
Listen, they didn't even get to, because usually when it opens up, it's like, oh, so and so went home. What do you think? Oh, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts Nah, bitch, Zav went right into it. They both went right into it. And at first everyone's like, yeah, what happened? What happened? What happened? And then it just melted down. I think one of the things about this episode is the funniest thing is happening, but it's about the worst thing possible. That whole parking lot scene is heartbreaking. Zav's going through a lot. It's really terrible. But also her hugging the tree and Cynthia running to her going, come to me, girl, come to me, was inherently hilarious. Everything about it was pure chaos.
And my favorite being Cynthia just attaching herself to all of the stuff going down, either trying to help somebody out or just kind of getting involved or having the best reactions. I'm just loving Cynthia being included in all of the drama in one way or another.
She seemed to, I don't know if this is her way of getting more camera time or what, but anytime something was going wrong, she was trying to run in and play Miss Congeniality with everybody, it seemed like this time around.
Yeah, but she was genuinely being there for the other girls. Like when Jaharia took the critiques too hard and didn't even go to the cauldron, she was right there. I forget who said it, but if someone on her team was like, we're all high class and Cynthia here looks like Roger from American Dad. And that's all I could see the rest of the fucking episode was Roger from American Dad with the biggest tits.
Like you said, there were some heartbreaking moments this episode and a lot of like intensity in terms of emotions. And you have Jaharia breaking down after her critiques. And then you have this caricature of Cynthia just looming behind her, these massive lips just glowing in the darkness. I just was feeling so bad for Jaharia, but could not stop cackling every time Cynthia showed up on screen.
And of all the reactions that we saw and all the things that went down this time around, Jaharia is the one that I felt the most for because I think she really, really took it to heart. And it's hard not to when you're getting a critique like that, when you're standing up in front of people and they're critiquing you, it's hard not to take it especially personal. But it was nice to see, people coming in and supporting her while she was trying to like process and get through that, even if it was Roger from American Dad. I mean, it was nice to see that she had some support during that.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see Swanthula show up to give her support to that. And I thought it kind of broke the mold a little bit in a way, but I was excited to see her there. And I think that it was really nice to have a little bit of that direct response to the critique that she provided. So a little bit of, yeah, I think that was great.
Which I think is needed for us, the audience, because they're at the end of the day, they're making a show, and a big aspect of it is the drama, is all the competition and all this. But at the end of the day, you got to remember that the Boulets are in every above the line position. They're directing, they're producing, they're writing, they're hosting. They're powerhouses in here, but they're also making something to showcase their friends, performers they like, performers that they love. This is their community. These are their people, and they are close to every single one of these. That's why when you see someone, you're like, this person's terrible, but they're like, I love you. Why aren't you doing better? Like, they really mean it. And so it is good to see the veil kind of be pulled back a little bit and see, like, because I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have those type of conversations with everybody after critiques of like, hey, listen, this is a show. This is to lift you up so you can come back and be stronger and do better. I really appreciated that, especially with Jaharia, because Jaharia is such a strong performer and she had an off week. That's what it was. It was an off week, and I really hope it doesn't come take her out. All this being said, I am so happy Blackberry won. Blackberry, I think, is one of the strongest competitors out there. I think she's one of the most talented artists. and she just does not get into the drama that much. She doesn't, she does her thing, and I just think the spotlight isn't always on her. So when she won, that filled my heart with joy, because I love Blackberry so much, and I just want to see her do so well.
She's one of my favorite to watch in the Cauldron because she sits there enjoying the hell out of all the drama, just fingers crossed, smiling, but not participating and having just come down off of one of a great performance. So I think it's great seeing the excellent performer and also somebody who's here for the drama, but also, is here to do the competition and really try to win.
Speaking of Cauldron, we also saw everyone go after Dahlia Black again, understandably so. But this time, everyone was calling her out hard again for going to production. So what does she decide to do? She decides to go off camera with Zav and start to throw production under the bus, saying that they were threatening a wellness check on her, which the producers and the Boulets quickly stepped in and go, hey, sorry, I know you're not on camera, but you are fucking mic'd. We can hear everything you're saying, and what are you talking about? Because that's not how wellness checks works. You don't threaten people with that. That's to make sure that insurance is good. You're fucking with production's insurance at that point, dude. Like, that's pretty serious. So what did you guys think of that moment? Because for me, as someone who works in reality, I was sitting there with my jaw on the fucking ground.
I wish I could have seen their faces personally. I wish I could have seen the producer's face. I forget who it was, or the person on the crew, whoever it was, who was like, that's not what I said. I mean, just straight up to her face, you are lying. That's not what was said.
Yeah.
I asked you if you needed a wellness check, and then you somehow turned that into we're threatening you with, I wish I could have seen the look on the face.
Yeah. Well, especially since she's like, no, you said multiple times you're not in a good health space. She's like, because I'm not. And she's like, right. That's why we said, do you need a wellness check? Do we need to this is a serious thing? You kept saying no, but you kept saying, I'm having a mental crisis moment, which I equate to on like a athletic competition show. That's like, if someone gets injured, you have to go through insurance and stuff. If someone on a very mentally taxing show is saying, I'm having a mental crisis, you got to follow up on that. You got to do the insurance stuff.
Along those lines, I also really like how we're seeing more from different producers in the show, either like a little bit more in the conversations had with folks in the green room, or whatever those one-on-one conversations they have with them, or that moment with Dahlia when you have a producer actually speaking up, or when Zav ran out, there was a producer that ran out to go like help them out too. And so I was seeing a bit more of like the behind the scenes. Like I like that side of having, I don't know if it's the Boulets like releasing the reins a little bit or showing a little bit more behind the scenes, but I'm kind of enjoying that process. And I'm kind of along those lines as well. It seems like Boulets are a little bit having a bit more fun, I think, this season, kind of opening it up. Like I'm loving these opening bits they're doing for every episode where they kind of do a recap and they're talking a little bit about what's been going on. But they also talk about the drama that was in the last episode and have their own little take on that. Yeah. I think they've never really done that kind of stuff before. And so I'm really enjoying all of that, if intended to make it the drama more impactful or whatnot.
Absolutely, because they usually reserve a lot of this behind the scenes stuff for their podcast when they do their recap episodes. And as the episodes come out, they do an episode about it, things of that nature. I lied earlier. I do listen to the Boulets podcast. That's the that and Star Trek. That's all I listen to.
You do listen to podcasts.
I listen to two.
We tripped you up.
I listen to Boulet and Star Trek Con. That's it.
I did love when you're talking about seeing behind the scenes stuff. I was reminded about towards Zava in the middle of everything, and she's like shouting at them to stop filming, and Cynthia being like, "Honey, it's a TV show. They're not going to stop." It's just like it was just like that quick little reality check kind of thing.
And that's the thing too. Like this kind of showing more production. Dahlia involved production. It's been a part of the narrative. They even addressed it in the beginning of the episode during the talk when they're like, "Oh, do we care about Sigourney's fans? No, we want to see all these people back in the grave." It's like they're playing with it. But I mean, this episode especially, there were 3 instances where that veil was, or no, 4 if you're, Zav breaking down. There was Jaharia. There was the Dahlia is being threatened by production. And then at the very end, during the fright feat, Abora goes fucking nuts and starts eating the stuff that all the is props. On the table. Oh my god.
And then apparently goes to the ER. I wonder if that got put on a little bit on the extent of what happened there, but I thought it was just so funny. Like, oh my god, one more time of having this like behind the scenes conversation about what happened to Abora.
One of the last things we heard was like, no, you really probably are going to need that to vomit that up right now. And then you
Bleh.
hear her gagging. I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Like,
That's so
it's just the
messy.
perfect end after such a messy episode, someone just vomiting. It was just like a perfect way of just bringing it all together.
Before we get into the Hellbound Showdown, the Elimination Challenge, who do you think is not coming back? Based off of like this week's performance and the Elimination Challenge, and also let's be honest, the drama, because Dolly's down there too.
I just think there's a point in which the production is opposed to Dahlia. Everybody in the boudoir is opposed to Dahlia. You can't go a single episode without somebody losing their shit over her. And I think there's a point in which, like, she's also not bringing the looks necessarily to what she could have done in the past. Her performances just aren't up to par. And so I think it just all of that stuff together, if you bring her back one more time, like why are you doing this? You know? At that point it's do we not have anybody else to direct this drama to? Is it about the drama? Is that where we're keeping her in? I just think if you're down at the bottom for that many times and you're creating this kind of turmoil behind the scenes, then it's just better for you to go and see. I just hope that this kind of stuff isn't impeding other competitors from being able to do the best they can in the scenario. I'm here to watch Dragula Titans. I'm here to see the best that they can do, the best they can be. And if there's somebody that's causing that to not be the best they can be in one way or another, I'd rather them be gone. I don't want them to be there anymore, even if it is relatively funny to watch that every episode. But I just want somebody like La Zavaleta, for example. I don't really know what all is going on with her. I feel a bit let down and disappointed by what's been going on enough that it is impeding what we know she's able to do. Like she's been my number one from the start, and I hope that she can kind of figure it out and get back out there and become that person with the skill that I know that she can be. But if there's this drama or back end stuff that's impacting the quality of work that we're seeing, I just don't want that to be there anymore. I'd rather them leave and see what else can be done after the fact.
I'm right there with you. I think at this point we've had enough Dahlia and enough of Dahlia's antics, but also, I mean, her look was literally falling apart while she was trying to perform out there. The sides were popping on them, things were coming off. It was falling apart. I really, if we're going just by performance alone in this, then she is on the bottom. I mean, she was out of all of them, to me, the worst. I mean, when you're out there, I mean, Jaharia may not have been her best look or anything like that, but the look held together. The look was there. She would, she might have had more of a nightie than a bathing suit, but it didn't fall apart while she was trying to dance around and do her thing out there. So yeah, I really think it's time for exit stage right for Dahlia, and I think that's going by the performance as well as what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, definitely. I mean, it's hard to say anyone but Dahlia. When it comes to the performances, genuinely, I have a hard time between these four seeing who's better. All four of these had enough not going on or going wrong or not being done well that I'm genuinely like, and that's hard to say because Jaharia and La Zavaleta are two of my favorites. And so I want them to keep going. I think if you were to say overall in the competition of these four, who do I think deserves to have that second chance after a rough night? I'd say Jaharia. But overall, let me rephrase that. Jaharia and Abora. I know. Very different from episode one talk, but I think those two had rough nights and I think that they should continue on. But the performances, the behind the scenes, the looks, I don't want to see Zav go home, but Zav and Dahlia really did earn their spots today. So I wouldn't be surprised if any of these four go home. I just hope it's not Jaharia and then Abora and then Zav. And Dahlia, I'm okay. If
I don't
we're
know.
ranking, if we're ranking.
If we're ranking. I really loved Zov's Nosferatu beach party look. Just full nude gremlin style, full pussy
What
out.
was
Like
it?
I just loved it so much.
Bedazzled pussy? Is that what we heard several times during
Bedazzled pussy. It was
Yes.
beautiful. I had such good fun with it. I think that's kind of the risk that people need to be taking on the show again that we haven't seen in a while, and so I was happy to see that happen on the stage.
So, well, I guess we'll see next week on who's coming back. Hellbound Showdown. Now that we have a grasp of what this is, and we saw the showdown between Loris and Jay Jolie this week, I feel like it's a fun concept. But to be honest, a lot of the people that are eliminated early in the competition weren't going to have strong looks later anyways. So it kind of like, especially last night, it kind of felt like, okay, well, I hope Jade wins.
Loris Dobby the house elf / vampire. I'm not sure what they were trying to pull off there. It just wasn't working for me.
I did not make the Dobby connection. I thought Loris looked like an action figure version of one of the background characters from The Witches. You know, the Angelica
I
Houston
can see
movie.
that a little.
But it was supposed to be vampire.
I was about to say neither of those things are Nosferatu. But then on the other side of
Jade
things,
Jolie didn't even have teeth.
I was about to say Jade was serving cunt all over, and she had bats all over, and it was great. Didn't even have fucking fangs. Didn't even have painted on fangs like Dali had. At least Dali like made it a part of her lipstick, but there was nothing with Jade. And so it's like
Dahlia.
Dahlia. Who did I
Dali.
say?
Dali, that's another competitor, not here.
Apologies, Dali. Dahlia. But Jade again, she looked fantastic. It was cunty as fuck. I love all the bat stuff, but like, bitch, you got to at least have fangs if it's a vampire fucking challenge. Come on.
So I am loving the Hellbound Showdown. I think it's a great change from what they've done in the past. And it's going to be difficult right now because we are knocking off some of the lower quality competitors. But then once we start getting to later on in the season, you're going to have some really strong competitors once again competing with each other, having a second chance. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what's going to happen towards the end of this season.
My only critique with it is taking away from time where the performances and the looks could be shown off, is how it's kind of feeling right now. But again, as the competition progresses and there's less people to have to feature, I feel like it'll balance out a bit better.
Yeah, because there's some fantastic looks in this Nosferatu beach party. I mean, really fantastic looks, but we did only get little glimpses of them here and there. We didn't get like a lot of time on the detail and stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was a lot to cover in such a short amount of time, but thank you both so much for coming out and watching and talking Titans with me. The drama definitely hit a peak, and we'll see if it continues to stay there or maybe things will calm down. We'll find out who is eliminated on Monday, and we'll talk again the week after about it. Again, our artwork is by Chris Fisher, so go check him out. The music for the podcast is, as always, Restless Spirit. You can find us at iHorror.com, the place where we call home. And if you want to follow more about the three of us, Waylon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Waylon.Jordan. You can also find me as Waylon Jordan over on Facebook, and look me up on my author pages, W. Dale Jordan on Facebook, and also wdalejordanauthor.com if you'd like to know more about the stuff that I'm writing.
Yeah, and don't forget to purchase Waylon's new book. What's the title again, Waylon?
These Sins of Mine, a collection.
Yes, collection of short stories. I think you told me about one of the stories. What was it? Was it a ghost penis?
Well, it's about a penis that gets possessed. I mean,
There we go.
It all comes down to, having sex with somebody and they die in the middle of it. I mean, what else is going to happen?
My apologies for mistaking a possessed penis with a ghost penis. That's for volume 2. Volume 2, it'll be someone haunted by the ghost of a penis. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be the entity, but as an erotic thriller instead. There you go. I'll co-write that one with you, bud. And of course, if you want to know more about Ion Horror, you can always find us on the social medias at Ion Horror. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be reviewing episodes 5 and 6. Until then, I'm Jonathan Correia.
I'm Lindsey.
And I'm Waylon.
You can keep your eye on Talking Titans.
We're going to keep our eye on Talking Titans. We're going to keep our eye on Talking Titans. We're going to keep our eye on Talking Titans.
Talking Titans.
The end.